And now next up, we have the Prime Minister Yingluck will hold a meeting with Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the United Nations, at the Government House this morning, after which she will leave for Bali, Indonesia, to attend the Asean Summit during September 16 to 19. Prime Minister Yingluck will also meet with the Secretary of State of the United States of America, Hillary Rodham Clinton, who will officially visit Thailand this evening for flood assistance from November 16 to 17. During the visit on Wednesday, November 16, Secretary Clinton is scheduled to meet with Prime Minister Yingluck at the Government House. Secretary Clinton will also visit Thai flood victims at the evacuation center at Ratchamankala Stadium in Bangkok before departing to Indonesia for the ASEAN Summit meeting on Thursday, November 17. Clinton will join U.S. President Barack Obama and other region leaders during the Bali event.
And the government's movements have been concentrating on assuring investors. However, there's also another move that they have been assuring their supporters as well, as speculation was rife that the Yingluck cabinet had approved a royal decree to grant amnesty to convicts on the occasion of His Majesty the King's upcoming December the 5th birthday anniversary. According to the Bangkok Post, citing unnamed government sources, this could benefit fugitive former Premier Thaksin Shinawatra. The amnesty decree was raised as an unscheduled item during the weekly cabinet meeting chaired by Deputy Premier Chalerm Yubamrung. Prime Minister Yingluck, the younger sister of Thaksin, was absent during the meeting. She refused comments yesterday and referred to the matter to Chalerm. If the decree is approved, convicts who are at least 60 years old and are sentenced to under 3 years of jail will be eligible for the amnesty. Unlike the 2010 amnesty decree issued by the previous Democrat-led government, the approved draft does not exclude convicts prosecuted for corruption from being eligible to the amnesty, according to the Bangkok Post. Thaksin is 62 years old and was sentenced to a 2-year jail term on abuse of power under the National Anti-Corruption Law.
And with other numbers we're waiting for, the cabinet yesterday approved a total of 9 billion baht for flood relief to industries and households, tax breaks for the setting up of an infrastructure fund, and an increase in public debt. Government spokesman Tima Chai Sang said the cabinet approved 112.84 million baht divided into 50 million baht for industry relief centers, 22 million baht for environmental management and industrial waste disposal, 25 million baht for water, soil and toxic substance monitoring, and 15 million baht for water drainage and submerged industrial parks. The cabinet also approved 2.55 billion baht to pay flood-affected households compensation of 5,000 baht each. It agreed to subsidize soft loans from the government savings bank to industrial operators that plan to build flood barriers. The compensation will be curbed at 4.46 billion baht plus an interest subsidy of 4.22% for 7 years. The cabinet allocated flood relief funds of 935 million baht to rehabilitate Don Mueang Airport, 4.94 billion baht to repair roads, and 900 million baht to renovate 79 schools. Financial Minister Thirachai Phuvanat Naranuban said the infrastructure fund, to be run by the state enterprises, aims to encourage state enterprises, firms, and individuals to join in road, rail, port, airport, and other key infrastructure projects. Investors in the fund will be exempted from paying the 10% dividend withholding tax for 10 years. The value-added and specific business taxes and stamp duty will be waived for those transferring assets to the fund or the state enterprises, but they must have contracts for their properties to be transferred back to them. The tax breaks would result in government losses of 1.2 billion baht, but the government can reduce the public debt burden by 2.7 billion baht per year, leaving a net savings of 1.5 billion baht. The cabinet also approved a proposal to raise public debt plan for fiscal 2012 from 1.29 billion baht to 1.65 trillion baht. The state needs to borrow more to finance the rice pledging scheme, which will cost 269 billion baht, and refinance treasury bills worth 94.8 billion baht. It also needs 149.11 billion baht to restructure the economy. The cabinet also acknowledged the Energy Fund's plan to borrow 10 billion baht. The new borrowings will push the public debt up 43.5% of gross domestic product next year, but that is still remains manageable and not exceeding the alarm level of 60%, Thirachai said.
The Bank of Thailand is urging banks to concentrate on risk management and loan quality, which could be hit by fragile major economies and the nation's worst flood in decades. Both issues continue to have relatively high uncertainties, Nawaporn Maharakaka, a senior director, said yesterday. Banks need risk management that allows their customers to cooperate their business so that they can make payments. However, the banking system remains strong with good risk management and the payment system is operating as usual, although with some difficulties for users in some flooded areas. It is too soon to estimate the rate of non-performing loans or NPLs and loan growth this quarter as they depend largely on the speed of business recovery, she said. As of last quarter, the commercial banking system was carrying NPLs worth of 268.5 billion baht, down 16.2 billion baht from the second quarter. Gross NPLs stayed at 2.8% and net NPLs at 1.4% of outstanding loans. Corporate NPLs fell to 3.1%, SME NPLs to 4.2%, and consumer NPLs to 2%. According to BOT statistics, the loan exposure was about 121 billion baht, or 1.5% of total outstanding loans in the system, in the 7 inundated industrial estates in the Ayutthaya and Pathum Thani, and businesses in heavily flooded Nawanakhon and Lopburi. According to Nawaporn, after the floods retreat, there could be some loans for restoration and imports of immediate inputs. However, these depend on the speed of recovery and buildup of customer confidence. In the third quarter, the commercial banking system saw increases in loans of 17.3% year-on-year and 15.1% from the second quarter. Corporate loans grew by 18.2%, SME loans by 16.5%, and consumer loans by 17.4%. Deposits including bills of exchange rose 13.6% year-on-year and 14.1% quarter-on-quarter. System liquidity was slightly tighter as loans grew faster than deposits. The loan-to-deposit ratio, including B to A's, rose 89.7%. The commercial banking system's capital adequacy ratio, according to the Bank of International Settlements, improved 15.7%, while the Tier 1 ratio was 12.4%.